Hey guys, thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to be doing something very different. We're going to be having something called the student chat. So we have various people here that you all recognize. We're going to be discussing what the coronavirus has done in our lives and how we can still connect with God during this season. So we have our associate student pastor here, Brother Jake Verite, who is currently still working, just graduated college, but how that affects his life, how the coronavirus has affected his life. We have Sister Millie, our First Lady of our student ministry, who is also a full-time student in college, and she's going to share how that has affected her life as well. And we have Brother Jordan Martin, a senior in high school. He's going to share with us how to connect with God during this season in life. So I'm going to ask questions, and we're basically just going to talk about it and show how we can still maintain our relationship with God through all of the craziness, all of the wild things that are happening in this day and age today. So, our first question is for Brother Jordan. Since all of the changes that began after the outbreak of the coronavirus, what is the biggest challenge in your life at the moment?
I feel like to me, the hardest thing is really trying to find motivation.
Yeah.
Because during this time, you can develop a sorry for yourself attitude or become complacent.
Right.
And I feel like during those times, that's the time the adversary can really attack you and tempt you. Because you're not really where you need to be in the spirit.
Definitely.
Because you're just there not doing anything.
Right, definitely. So if I was to ask you a question, I would say, when you feel like that, how do you respond to that? When you feel attacked by the adversary, how do you respond to that?
Try to just pray
Yeah,
and go to God to get past it.
definitely.
That's a good way to do it. And also you can just try different avenues, try something different, maybe something you have never done before. Call a friend, a godly friend, and just have a conversation with him. Hey, what's up with your life? What are you doing right now? What's helping you to stay spiritual, to stay close to God?
Yeah, that's good. Just because we're social distance doesn't mean we have to be socially isolated. Obviously we want to still make sure we're keeping in contact with our friends and our family and our church members. So that's good that you kind of recognize that and know that it's the importance of just keeping in touch with other people during these times.
Definitely. I like that, Brother Jake. I like how you said, just because we're social distancing doesn't mean we have to be social isolated. I like that. Distance and isolation are completely different things.
Right.
That's awesome. Question number 2 is for Brother Jake. How has work or ministry changed in the past month, and how has it impacted you?
So ministry has changed a lot, but I'll finish with that and I'll start with work because personally, the job that I have, I work from home probably about 50% of the time, so now I'm working from home about 75% and 80% of the time. So it's just changed my schedule a little bit. My routine is definitely thrown off as everyone else's routine has been. But I've had a lot more personal time to spend doing whatever I choose to do. I've tried my best to spend that time wisely, whether it's reading a book or reading the Bible or in the time of prayer. That's really important during this time. But ministry has changed. It's shifted from person to person, like individual or group ministry, to more of a personal ministry. I've tried to be more personal in my relationships with people. I'm making sure I'm texting people, calling people, staying up to date with people's personal lives, and not just those that I see on a daily basis, but those that maybe I haven't heard from in a long time. So that's kind of how it's changed in my life.
Yeah, definitely. Would you say it's been a difficult adjustment, or has it been fairly easy because of your prayer life or connection with God, that type of thing?
Well, transition is never easy, but it was a little difficult at first because it threw me completely out of my normal routine. That's something that, that doesn't come easily to anyone, but it's come easier over time. I'm starting to enjoy it. I do miss seeing people on a daily basis. I do miss being with groups of people, my friends and such, but it's gotten easier over time for sure.
I think that while you having a personal relationship with your ministry, it's actually a good thing because people can appreciate it more because they can't actually see you. And by you being positive during this time, they'll cling on to that and they'll see the Jesus in you.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely. That's a great point. I think that this have allowed us the opportunity to be more one-on-one with all of our students when it comes to ministry, rather than just globally.
Right, definitely. Yeah, I think that's God's plan. We always see ministry as that one on a group of people type ministry, but if we can't connect individually, we really don't have any ministry, because that's what it's all about. Jesus was a one-on-one type guy. He wasn't always preaching. He He met with the disciples, just 12 people, and then he met with a group of people as well. So God is very intentional. Question number 3 is for Sister Millie. We are aware that you are currently enrolled full-time in college. Since the outbreak of the coronavirus, how has this changed?
All right. Well, I'm a nursing major, for those who don't know, so it has changed a lot in that aspect because before we were able to do clinicals and go to the actual hospitals and do practice and do all this, but now we're doing clinicals online, so that has been a big change. On the lighter side though, I feel like that has allowed me a lot more time to do those devotionals I always wanted to do, to write things down, to journal, just to have more time to be a wife, to have more time to actually be more hands-on in ministry through social media. So it has a good side and a bad side as well, also.
Definitely. So, is the good side so much better that the bad side is just a small sacrifice, or is it still hard?
I would say it is tough because I do enjoy going to the hospitals and having that one-on-one with patients. But however, I would say that it's very positive because it has definitely allowed me more time for ministry, which is something that I did wanted to do in the past. So it has definitely allowed me that, and it has definitely allowed me more time to have more private time with God. So that has definitely been a plus.
Definitely.
Yeah, I found that I'm not so rushed to go to places like I was before. I was always doing something, whether it was church or work or personal things. You kind of rush to go from one place to another, but I have a lot more time to just be still, I guess you could say, and focus on those important things that we kind of forget about on a daily basis.
Definitely.
That just not having to commute, that gives you a lot of time.
Yeah,
Just that by itself.
Yeah, when you said be still, I thought about the story in scripture where God spoke through the still small voice, and they say, when you listen, sometimes you hear things you never heard before. So what if God is literally just stopping the world just to speak a word to us that we wouldn't have heard before if we didn't stop and be still? I love that.
And just think about it. What is so important that God had to stop the whole world? The whole world had to slow down and be in quarantine.
Definitely. There's a scripture that says, what is man that you are mindful of him? So if God wants to speak to us and he will stop the world to do that, that means he had us in mind. Because he could have spoken and said, they're listening, they get it. They don't listen, they're not getting it. But he said, I'm going to stop the world to get your attention because I want you to know that I have something to tell you. So our goal in this season is simply just to listen and see exactly what God is saying.
That's great.
Definitely.